Right?
Bunch
No.
of imperialist scum.
Colonizers.
Listen, we just set up a whole bunch of boom tubes. Nothing bad can come out of it.
Okay. Is everybody here? I think I've
Yep.
got all the scenes I needed ready. Dylan's not here today, so I had to message him most of the contents of this session and get feedback from him for what Beryl would do. So I'm gonna try to stay true to what his character said, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so brief recap. Very brief recap. You guys are in the thick of it, the shit. The world seems to be moving very quickly now. All of you had these sort of side missions. You were trying to sort of gather last little bits of resources, abilities, a little bit of training. Some of you went to see your families, and all of that there's sort of a nice moment for each of you learning things about yourselves and about your abilities before a curious astronomical event occurred, a sort of unprompted eclipse, following a very strange explosion in the town of Lurien, which Damon witnessed. Upon which all of you decided to return home quickly at the advice of Marin, who seemed to be readying himself for a very intense battle. All of the guild masters are on call, every squad is deployed, everyone that's at least available, and all of you have been sort of ordered to carry out a very complex defensive mission. The guild masters seem to have passed you going down the hallway to fight in a very large chamber. You stand sort of in the middle between that large fight, and you with Marin and Lyra are sort of standing on the other side of that and are now sort of caught between, sort of sandwiched on both sides. Now Porter, Kirath, and Luthar have approached. They are demanding the egg. It appears from Marin's expression that he was unaware that Porter was alive, and something had been keeping him from seeing Porter's existence for quite some time. And it also seems that Porter killed all of the guards protecting the portal in Luskin to bring Kirath, Luthar, and 2 Shadowblades with him into this part of the guild. And that's sort of where we're picking up at this crucial betrayal scene. Any questions? Cool. We begin with combat. Damon, you're up.
Damon will use an action to use another potion of speed. Let me just deduct that.
Yeah, when you cast it, it should deduct it.
Yeah. I think it did, yeah. I guess I meant I should cast it so that it does deduct it. And then I will, I guess, use my movements to come up between the 2 people I know and have fought with before. And then I will make 2 attacks against Porter.
I think you took damage in the previous fight outside, Isolde.
And then I swing again.
Ooh.
Nice.
You see as he activates a feature, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not on. Well, it's on Kirath. It's configured correctly. You see as he fades into shadow as your attack swings at him, and it just whiffs straight through him. And he looks at you and smiles.
For a brief second, like
Oh wait, you also.
the shadow of worry.
Oh wait, did you cast Tensors?
I thought we had said that
Oh, yep.
because Tensors is 10 minutes, it was still up.
No, that checks out.
Okay. Yeah. So a shadow of like worry flickers over Damon's face for a second, and he's gonna just square back up, and that'll be his turn.
Okay. It's Kirath's turn. Kirath is going to step. Well, he's going to step here, and he is going to Cone of Cold.
That was
That's kind of a bad roll.
garbage roll, yeah.
It is. Luthar is going to go next. He is going to do Fireball. God damn it. It's also a garbage. Oh my god. There was 5 ones in that roll. Alright. Taryn, you're up. Giant cone of cold slams into all of you, and then a ball of fire hits all of you, and you seem relatively unfazed by it.
Yeah, Taryn's not super bothered by what just happened. So he's going to go 20 feet up.
Does cone of cold slow you? Forget.
I don't think so. No, it just when you
Nah.
die, you turn into a statue.
Gotcha.
Then I'm going to use my breath weapon.
God damn. You see Kirath activate his tattoo, and Luthar does as well. And they both fade into shadow as the energy just flies through them, and then they reappear on the other side.
Alright, that's annoying. Then I'm going to fly 10 feet up.
But I think Porter gets pushed down.
Yeah. I always forget if it's back or prone.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, it's pushed back 10 feet.
Okay, yeah, Porter gets pushed back 10 feet.
And then I fly up and I tuck the egg away, and then I'm going to use my bonus action to see if I can recharge. And I can.
Gotcha. Arvine is going to target Luthar and cast Eldritch. Or nah, fuck it. Let's do Eldritch Blast. She gets 3 of them. Kapow. And the Deva goes, flies in the air towards Kirath, and swings his mighty holy mace. Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Slamming it. Oh, he wishes he saved his tattoo for that shit.
Yeah.
Woo! Alright. How many attacks does he get? Gets 2. Yeah. Kirath takes 2 huge blows from the Deva. And it is Marin's turn. Marin is going to... run. Well, that's not a good angle. He could run this way. And then he's going to lightning bolt. Did it not work? Game. Broken game.
I have like a pattern, but not like rolling on my screen.
Weird. Whatever. Okay. I guess I gotta fix Marin's lightning bolt. Is it broken? It is broken. Alright, and it does how much damage normally? Fuck.
10d8.
Yeah.
8d.
Fuck, I'm just gonna find the spell and pull it.
8d6. And a dexterity save.
Okay. Let's see if I can get this to work. There we go. Zap. Isolde, it is your turn.
Alright.
If you have to deal with that pterodactyl attack, we understand.
I have another pterodactyl expert dealing with it.
Nice.
I think I am going to cast Guiding Bolt on Kirath. Beautiful.
What's it look like when you kill Kirath?
She holds her holy symbol up and kind of brings it down towards the ground in a sweeping motion, and a streak of light comes down and fries him in the spot. And then she's gonna back the fuck up.
Nice. Cool. Alright. Fayrol is up. He is going to target Porter with Hold Person, and he's going to use a Mr. Mark to make sure it works. Though it doesn't look like he has Hold Person prepared. Classic Dylan. Wait, does he not even have that spell? Oh. I see. It's because he has it renamed. Present paralysis is what he called it. And he chooses one of his mistress marks, so Porter fails it. Porter is now held in paralysis by that ability. Lyra comes over here and is going to cast magic missile at Luthar. Bombarding him with magic missiles. Porter is paralyzed. He gets to make a wisdom save at the end of his turn, which he succeeds. And it's this Drow Shadowblade's turn. He is going to blah 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 blah. Cast darkness here, and he is going to shadow step into the darkness, and that is his turn. Bosner's up.
Osner is dealing with a pterodactyl situation.
Cool.
So,
Earth Elemental and Punch.
either that or Fire Elemental?
I think Earth
With
does more
that,
damage.
let's do it.
Alright, I gotta find that shit. Wild shapes. Earth Elemental.
Oh, here he is.
Oh. Oh. Do you want to be an Earth Elemental?
He says yes.
Cool. You can't see super well right now. I guess, yeah. There's a big cloud of darkness in front of you that's preventing everybody from seeing.
So before I turn into a Earth Elemental, I'm going to recast Draconic Transformation.
Okay.
This time at 8th level.
Woo!
I think I should have had advantage on those concentration checks because of the combat or warcaster feat, but I don't think it's registering.
Oh, did you lose the shit?
Yeah, it said I lost concentration, but I didn't realize it until just now.
That's fine.
so-
We'll just say you still have it up.
Okay. I have blind sight in both
Oh.
darkness or magical darkness.
Oh, so you want to womp this guy?
Yeah, so I will be an earth elemental and go and punch some dude in the face.
Cool. Do you want me to do that for you?
Yeah, the Shadow Blade.
Womp 1. Womp 2. He maintains concentration on his shadow.
Awesome. All right.
The Shadow Blade is going to blink into the shadow, and he is going to attack. Oh no, I thought I fixed that shit. Oh, god damn it. Pause for dramatic effect. Why is there a measured fucking template? God damn. He attacks, jumping through the air, and swings a second time. Oh, he's supposed to have advantage. That's fine. They both have. Taryn, you are in pure darkness right now, not able to see, and you are struck from two different sides by a very powerful sword. I think that's it. Cool. Shadow Step is a bonus action.
I have a cold shield up, so I think he takes
Oh,
2 sets of damage.
yeah.
Let me
roll
look
for
at
it.
it.
Damon is
How
up.
much is it?
Cool.
Can't see anything currently.
Then I am going to.
Takes 21.
I'm still allowed to attack Luthor right in front of me, right? It would just be at disadvantage.
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah. Then everyone in the vicinity is gonna hear like a deep, like synthetic voice say, "Entering demolition mode," and I activate Primus's mark. Oh, I gotta make this at disadvantage. Hang on.
Okay, so the lowest you can roll is a 10, which would be a 23.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, he, oh wait, has he gone? Since he
So
last
if you want to,
mark-
if you want to just say like, because if I had 23 guarantee hits, then I can just have rolled my 2 attacks.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so you, he shields, I'll say he tries to shield the first one, but it fails, and you cut him down.
And
You killed him
then-
with the first attack.
Oh, right on. Then I will step out of the darkness.
I guess, weirdly, I'm not sure how you would know that you killed him, but I mean, it's fine. It's just a hand wave though.
Probably hear
I'm
a
also
thump.
I'm also fine if you want to like say it took like 2 attacks, and then I'll just use my third like Tensor's attack on
No, it's
Porter.
just one attack. Oh, first of all, you have advantage against it because he is held person, and any hit against him is going to be automatically a critical.
Didn't he succeed his wisdom?
He didn't. Oh, no, you're right. He did. Sorry. No, so normal attack. You swing.
Okay. Then I will take my last attack.
Should the thing have carried out so that it's a hit anyways?
A 23. He has a reaction for that. Yeah, he would shield that. So yeah, his AC right now is 27.
Okay. David recognizes that magic and is super pissed off. And that's my turn.
Okay. Luthar is dead. Kirath is dead. Taryn is up.
Alright, I will not like what just happened and Misty Step 30 feet straight up.
Go.
Let's see. 40. And then I'll just launch a ray of frost at Porter.
Oh shit. Nice. That's a really sick ray of frost. Actually, it's
That'll
kind of
be
a
my
bad
turn.
roll. Yeah.
I'm not gonna complain about 40 damage on a cantrip, you know.
Yeah.
Especially after that cone of cold.
I feel that.
That's my turn.
Okay. Arvine is going to. Serious that. She's going to cast Eldritch Blast on board. Yeah, she has to hit a 27 though. Oh, she did. Oh, fuck. Arvine hits Porter critically in the eyes. And the Deva. Does he have True Sight? No. He's gonna swing. Disadvantage. Oh, that was advantage. Disadvantage. That'll hit. Okay. Mirren is up. He is going to use one of the lightning bolts. It's gonna go through your square, Terran, but you won't get hit because you're flying. So I've undone the damage to you,
Sweet.
and it does hit the Deva though. He can't see the Deva though. So best he can do. Zolda, you're up.
Alright, she is going to yell out that someone needs to get rid of the darkness. And she's going to spend her movement and technically her dash action, and I want her to just kind of like slowly walk through the darkness, but she's afraid of falling off the platform. So she's gonna enter and start calling out the names of her companions. And probably get attacked.
Yeah, so how far do you got for movement? Well, that's about it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Well, no, I mean, technically she has 80, but I'm
Oh,
saying she's walking real slow, so we'll say it there.
okay. Yeah, you would get attacked by the Shadow Blade for sure.
And I would attack too.
Attack me, Garrett. Or
Oh my god, with advantage and +9. A 2 and 11. Now. Con save success.
can you see the Shadow Blade, Garrett?
He
I have
can.
blind sight because of my dragon powers.
Nope.
Is that your turn then?
Yeah, she's calling out the names of her companions.
Okay. Varel is up. He is going to cast. Does he have Dispel Magic? Fucking no. I don't know what he's gonna cast. He can't see anything. He's gonna hold his action to cast just a
Can he
cantrip.
see through darkness with his like crazy
Oh,
weird vision
No,
shit?
you're totally right. He's got true sight because of his robes. Alright, yeah, he's going to on this guy cast. Oh, he's got a lot of AoE spells. He's just gonna do a cantrip at the one that's or I don't know. Yep, he shoots the guy with that. Oh, it shouldn't even do damage, I don't think. If he, oh, 6C. Oh, it's concentration check. Lyra will go. She is going to cast. She can dispel magic. So she casts Dispel Magic and targets the darkness. Porter gets a turn. He is going to do his Channel Divinity, which should give him what is it called? Guided Strike, plus 10 bonus to the attack roll that he's about to make, and he is going to cast is that a save? No. Inflict wounds at 4th level. Oh. So 23. Does that hit? Damon? It's 23 hit? Probably not. Huh? You're concentrating on something. I'm gonna assume that's a no. Okay. Drown Shadowblade is going to. Oh, now the shadow is gone. Going to attack Terran.
I'm 40 feet in the air.
40. Oh, not Terran, sorry, Foz. Osner, it is your turn.
Yeah, I lost my draconic form, so there goes all my cool moves.
Oh. Well,
But
at least this shadow's gone.
yeah, I will still go to Pound Town on this guy.
I love it.
Oops. Okay.
Alright. The other Shadowblade is going to fight this Deva. Oh my god, it missed terribly. And we're back around to Damon.
Damon hears Isolde calling somewhere behind her, and so looks to Porter and makes one final swing.
And he, as you kill him, looks you in the eye and says, just sort of like spitting up blood, says, "It's too late anyways," and dies.
I will like kick him off my sword and turn around and see. Oh, the shadow is gone, right? I correctly understand that.
Yeah.
So I'll see that and see these guys, and sprint in and swing at one. And I will throw a little extra on that with the psychic die. So he's going to take an extra 7 damage.
Okay.
And then I will swing at the other one.
Yeah, he's almost done. It's got 4 health left.
And I guess that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay, Taryn, you're up.
Just gonna Ray of Frost the remaining guy.
Yeah. What's it look like when you kill this guy?
I just draw like an icicle out of the top of my staff and launch it at him, and it like buries itself in his neck, and he falls over the side of the causeway.
Yeah, and with that, Marin sort of relaxes and says, "Come to the top of the guild," and starts walking away with you all. Do you follow him?
What about Porter? He might have answers that we need.
Porter is compromised. We don't need anything from him.
I'm gonna try to recharge my breath weapon during this time. If we have enough time, I won't roll.
And walking over to Porter's corpse, he sees a ring appear for the first time from invisibility on his finger, and Marin pulls the ring off his finger, and it has the Shadowfell symbol on it, and he looks at it and tosses it into the abyssal void, and keeps walking.
Wait, what was that? She's gonna run after him.
Do a intelligence check for me, or a history check, or whatever you want to do. That's int-based religion. Yeah, with that, you can recall, you know about Atticus's ring, the one that made it so he couldn't be perceived, couldn't be scryed on, couldn't be seen as telling lies, the ring of mind shielding. And you can see on Luther and Kirath's fingers the same thing, all fashioned. Not to say Atticus was part of the same group, but they're all using the same sort of magic technology, which is a ring that masks you from scry, and you can lie without it being detected by insight. And anyways, you could deduce that Porter's soul was likely absorbed into that very ring, which Marin just cast into the void, so that he could never escape it.
You don't think that he had any valuable information?
Marin just keeps walking. He's on a mission. And Beyrol is following after him, as per Dylan's instruction. Arvine sort of turns back this way, her Deva following her, and she heads back. She heads this way towards the other chamber, as does Lyra.
Taryn will chug a health potion and then follow.
Yeah, go
Marin.
for it.
Vosner's gonna pick up Porter's body and follow after as a giant earth elemental. Do we know who has the bag of holding?
I think we all have them now.
Yeah, I think you all have them now.
It's an executive decision to not think about
Gotcha.
inventory.
Yeah, you're
Then
level
I'll,
15 now. You don't need to worry about weight anymore.
Cool. When I turn back into human form, I will stuff Porter's body into my bag of holding.
Stuff his corpse?
Yep, the whole thing. Right in there.
Great.
I don't think the opening's big enough for a whole lot. Well, no, I guess you put Damon in it. Yeah, you stuff Porter's corpse into the bag of holding. Sure. Takes a minute, and Marin is like moving on without you.
It's alright,
Yes.
I know where the top of the guild is.
Fair enough. And does anybody do anything else? Damon, Isolde?
No, she'll
No, I'm
watch
still-
Vosner do this and shake her head a little bit and follow after Marin.
Okay. You guys.
and I-
Oh, sorry, Damon.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I would say Damon is gonna like hang on, like assume that there's maybe another battle coming, and hang on to all his like battle magic until it wears off on its own.
Sure.
So he's like just following sentry style.
You guys ascend up the stairs, sort of regathering your bearings, recognizing once again how weird that was, being down there and having sort of your sense of gravity upended. But as you ascend the steps, you still have that similar feeling that reality itself is sort of in flux, that you can feel as though, like, looking around you, certain things almost like pop into existence and pop out, like glitches in the Matrix. And as you're sort of walking, you see like a cobblestone in front of you take on this sort of ashen, discolored look, and then turn back into its sort of colored, normal sense. The whole room seems to be flickering and getting darker in moments, and then returning to sort of its standard glow as you walk up the stairs to the 6th level of the guild. Here you see Marin already at the top of the stairs. Sorry, little music. At the top of the stairs, as drow begin to pour in through various portals in this chamber and begin to run towards you. Marin holds up his staff and casts a spell before the battle starts. At all around you, an explosion of light erupts out of Marin's staff as he slams it into the ground, and radiant energy flies out in all directions, laying flat multiple drow and wounding others, as we head into another round of combat. And as Marin summons the elevator to come down to get all of you. Fayrol is up first.
Are we standing underneath where the elevator will land?
Essentially, I mean, it won't crush you or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But like, I shouldn't go straight up where I'm at.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Dylan's character is going to death knell. This guy. Oh fuck, that's a good roll. And a bad roll for him. Yeah. Beryl blows up the mind of this guy. Oh, I should have done the is damaged. Anyways, he dies instantly. Damon, you're up.
Damon is going to use his super speediness to use 40 of his 60 feet of movement, like hovering with his boots on,
Sweet.
to fly at this guy and swing at him. And swing again. And then use the rest of my movement and like my haste action to dash and get back. And I think that'll be my turn.
Okay, Foster's up.
Okay. I guess I'm out of elemental form. So I will cast a sunbeam. At what level? Yes, I've lost that concentration. At 8th level. I need permission?
Nah,
Some sort of permission?
I fucked that. That was in a different scene.
Okay. Should I cast it again or plus?
Oh, yeah, try
the
to do whatever you're doing.
Okay. Sunbeam. 8th level. Cast.
Nice. Yeah, you hit him with a bolt of radiant energy, but he does not go down. The drow is dead. This elite warrior is dead. This elite warrior is still alive. He is going to rush at Bosner and try to hit him. Wait, are you not in Earth Elemental form? Oh yeah, you changed out of it to put Porter in a bag?
Yeah.
Okay. He is going to swing his short sword at you. He's missing twice. What the fuck? Alright. I guess he has a bonus action. Yep. Alright. Swinging
He's
wildly.
really shaken up by the.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't like light. We'll say that for sure. Blah blah blah. Isolde, you're up. It's just one very weak drow elite warrior standing in front of Bosner.
Sorry, I was having issues seeing the map. It keeps going gray for me.
Oh. Sorry.
Okay. So as far as I can tell, are there like drow pouring in through these portals?
Yes. And you think you see more coming through.
Okay. Let me read a spell real quick. I'm gonna cast Blade Barrier, because we're waiting for an elevator to come to our spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, the Blade Barrier is 60 feet in diameter, so I'm gonna create a wall of spinning blades that covers this entire area.
Now, does it hit the people in the middle of it? How's that work?
No, it's just a wall, so if they choose to pass through it, it will hit them.
Okay, and you can make it like hollow in the center, basically?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat so you can see it.
So vertical wall of whirling, blah blah blah. You can make the wall straight, 20 feet high, 5 feet thick, or up to 60 feet diameter. Cool. 7th level.
It's a
Okay.
6th level spell, but I don't have my 6th level anymore. So.
Got it. Yeah, so you create this blade barrier that holds like a wall around all of you, protecting you all. Does it have like a special Azulda flare on it?
I'd like to think that the blades are a little northern looking.
Sweet. Is that your turn then?
Yeah.
Cool beans. The Silly War's dead. Marin is up. Much health does this guy have? Marin is just going to firebolt this guy. Fuck yeah. Pow! Right in the face. Taryn, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna take a couple steps over here, and then just ready a Ray of Frost for the first person through the blade barrier.
Okay. And because you casted this blade barrier, I'm gonna say that as the drow arrive, they stand on the other side of it, afraid to rush through, and their arrows, I'm just gonna say, they don't shoot, they just wait for it to pass. And eventually, as you just see dozens of drow sort of line up waiting for the blade barrier to drop, none of them having the ability to dispel it. The elevator arrives and Marin gets on it. Do you all come along?
Yeah. I'm gonna chug another potion. But
Yeah, feel free to do anything. I'll count this as sort of like a breathing round.
can you let us know when 10 minutes since the start of the first battle passed? Because I've got a fire shield on.
The
and I don't know when it'll
first
expire.
battle, so the outside battle?
Yeah.
It really hasn't been... Actually, I'll say as the elevator's going up, that first battle, 10 minutes is going to wear off, just for the sake of narrative. So anything
Yeah,
you buffed outside, let's say that's gone now. And you guys ascend up the elevator, and as you do, you see the familiar floors of the guild that you once explored. The 5th level, the 4th level with the library and the Druid Enclave, Tetherman's Place. You go up another floor, you see some of the like areas that you guys investigated, where I think Damon was located for years. You kind of see into that area, Damon's old home. The 2nd level, you arrive at the sort of planning stages for the guild, and then the 1st level of the basement, which is your crew quarters. You sort of hover past, looking in, seeing the all of the cafeteria, all of your guild squad rooms as you continue to float up past them. Is there anything any of you do?
Are there like drow running around?
Not on these floors. It appears that they've only penetrated through the portals on the 6th level, as far as you can tell.
Alright.
And you arrive at the top level, which now looks like this. I had to find a new scene because our old scene was super ghetto. You can just ignore those statues, though they look pretty dope, as just being pillars in the main hall. And basically, the entrance to this place is down this way. To the south is the entrance to the guild hall that you normally have ascended up. This area, like, I guess I can't mark it. Like this, oh shit. This area down here is where all of you first fought for the first time as, like, entry level to the guild on your first day. And above you, the Mythalar is pulsing intensely, like a glowing sun, just full of energy. And Marin turns to Varel and says, says something in his mind, and Varel nods. and sort of waits patiently. As that happens, you guys can see outside the guild, sort of looking through the entryway and sort of down the way, just because it's visible from this position, you can see that the city of Mossstone is completely overrun. And as you're sort of looking out the doorway, you see rushing up the steps to the guild is a number of drow and orc and hobgoblin. The defense outside the gate has clearly failed. And this is what you see. All of these creatures pouring in, rushing towards all of you standing at the Mythalar. What do you do?
I'll ask Varen what I need to do with the egg.
He looks at you, very serious, and says, "Keep it safe. It's our only chance." And you see him turn towards the massive orb above him and begins to, he slams his staff into the ground and begins to channel all of his energy into it. Those of you who are familiar with spellcasting can tell that what he's channeling is essentially 9th level spells, 8th level spells, 7th level spells, all into this thing, one after another. And as he does with each subsequent spell, the thing glows brighter and brighter and brighter. And Beryl sort of closes his eyes and waits. What do the rest of you do?
I'll fly 20 feet in the air.
As you go to fly straight up, Beryl puts his hand out and holds you sort of like to stay in place.
I will not do that then.
I guess Vosner would kind of look around and see if there's anything else kind of going on. Like if there are other guild members or guild folks around, just like preparing something.
There are no other guild members up here. It is Marin, the Mythalar, all of you, and a host of monsters basically rushing straight forward towards you guys.
I'll kind of call out across the chaos and say, we might have to consider leaving if there's a way to do that.
And Marin, sort of laser focused on the Mythalar, does not respond.
Damon just starts evoking a fireball at the highest level spell slot he has available, which I believe is 5th right now, and is preparing to launch it.
As you begin to cast that, you notice that, much like Beryl in the tower, though you weren't there for that, when you go to cast the spell, pulling it from the weave, you feel the weave is completely depleted of energy, as though you cannot rely on it to cast your spells anymore.
I am going to start to panic, and say, "Captain, my magic, it's gone."
I will look at him and then turn back to Marin and say, "Tell us what to do." And she's gonna try to connect with her god to conjure a blood blizzard at the bottom of the stairs.
As you reach out to the divine above you, as you're sort of like doing your normal casting, sort of summoning the power of the divine, you feel your tether between you and Ilmater is completely severed. And as soon as you sort of go to do that, you notice all around you that momentary glitch where the cobblestones turned dark and black and white begins to apply more frequently. All around you, darkness seems to be seeping out of all of the cobblestones, all of the marble statue, all of the pillars, and you can feel as though the world is turning upside down. all of you begin to descend into darkness. The only thing illuminating, providing light, is this Mythalar, as the world outside begins to be consumed by complete darkness.
I'm gonna grab Damon's forearm with one hand and Taryn with the other hand.
And as you link hands, Marin finishes casting the spell, and an immense explosion happens. A huge release of energy as all of you feel yourselves being teleported, transferred infinite distance away. Your bodies feel like they are stretched infinitely long, spaghettified in time and space, and you appear here. All around you is a familiar appearance, the Guildhall. And yet, it's also completely infused with negative and dark energy. Marin is gone. The people who are rushing at you, the drow, the orcs, and all of the others, Shadowblades, all of them are gone. You stand here in the Guildhall in near silence. Above you, the roof has completely caved in. The sky is only lit by a singular eclipse, still looming large, and there is not a single star present in the night sky. High above that, floating in the air, you see something you've never seen before. And it is a massive flying city, sort of emanating a dark greenish light, with large winged creatures flying around it in cyclical patterns. Floating high above the city of Mossstone is a ancient Netherese city. Varel has already begun marking chalk symbols on the ground frantically. As fast as he can, he is casting teleportation circle.
If there's any way I can identify to help him his spell casting,
Yeah, I'll say
Damon would help.
you just jump in and start completing parts of it that he hasn't completed yet. Sort of the rudimentary things. He's putting in the coordinates as you're building the frame of it.
Taryn will instinctively reach his hand in his bag for the dragon egg to make sure it's still there and okay.
Yeah, you feel it sort of warm to the touch as you grab it in the bag.
Can I do some sort of check to determine where we are or when we are?
You can tell that you are in the Guildhall. This is the same Guildhall you spent your years studying, but this is a warped Guildhall, and I will give me an insight check, or a perception check, I guess. You are so overwhelmed by the moment that you are completely confused by what's happening.
Could I, does this, well, this definitely reminds me of the Shadowfell.
This feels just like your dreams. The air is cold and feels devoid of all life and energy. Your connection to nature feels almost entirely severed, as though the Feywild, which normally powers your magic abilities, is completely cut off from this world. You feel like all the living beings that you normally can sense sort of within a mile radius of you as per your natural feelings. You feel a complete absence. There is nothing alive within a mile of this location.
Okay. I guess I'll draw my blade and just get ready, just in case.
Beryl continues to etch on the ground.
Do I hear anything like patrolling the area? Or
Roll me a
since
perception roll, and then all of you roll me a d6.
Come on.
Just so
Okay.
many d20s.
Yeah. So with that perception, you notice. Okay, so with that and the d6. Okay, you notice. I'm gonna roll a d6 for Beryl. Okay. You notice that those winged creatures flying around that hovering city in the sky, they're sort of on a patrol, and one of them begins to move in your direction, but you are able to, you like spot it coming.
Awesome. And I say, or quietly, beware, and I'll point at the giant patrolling dragon that's coming towards us, and try and get everyone to sort of duck out of the way while Beryl is finishing up.
Do we recognize what the winged creatures are? Or are they just...
They look like dragons to you. And as you are sort of working on the spell, you see one of those dragons turn towards you and head straight forward for you. Beryl and Damon are sort of still working on the circle. Would you like to continue working on it, or do you want Beryl to finish it himself? So here's what I'm going to say. It will take 4 rounds for him to complete it on his own, and 2 to complete it with your help.
I think I would stay and help. I think I would be like, Vero clearly knows something, and I have trusted his seemingly like preternatural knowledge before.
Okay. As you're standing there, you, Terran, Isolde, and Bosner, you see as a small shadow dragon flies towards you at immense speed, and then flies. I'll say he starts it this way, but he's flying directly at you guys. He lets out an ungodly scream as he flies towards you. And we're gonna throw all of you in combat.
I will definitely shout at Beryl to hurry.
Ooh, he got a crit on his initiative.
Wherever you are taking us, take us now. And she'll get ready for combat.
Alright, so Beryl and Damon are consumed by this. Begin combat. This shadow dragon moves. We'll say he started back here just to make sense of it, and he moves, but he still has 60 feet. He flies, landing down here, letting out a scream, and then he shoots you with some shit.
Ooh. Well, shit.
As necrotic damage comes spewing out towards you, and he lands with a large thump. And let's see, does he do his recharge at the end of his turn? I always forget that. Whatever, we'll do it at this. Well, we'll see if he gets it back. Yeah, he doesn't. Okay, Taryn, you're up.
I will take 5 feet forward, do my breath weapon in response.
Nice. He breathes shadow damage at you, and you breathe back at him. I love it.
That wasn't super effective. And then I will use a bonus action to chug another healing potion.
Okay. Bosner, you're up.
How tall are the statues?
We'll say they're actually pillars that hold up the building, but they're only about 20 feet tall because the entire roof of the guild has been destroyed. You're looking at an open sky.
Gotcha. Could I like stand on like the horse's butt or something, or like?
Yeah, I mean you can stand on the pillar.
Okay. I'm gonna saloon mark myself up over there, and then I will continue or use my. Oh, it's not up here. Weird. Continue to blast some beams from my hand.
Nice.
Here we go.
As you cast this radiant beam, I'm gonna undo the damage you did to yourself.
Somehow. Yeah.
As you blast this radiant beam, you notice that it just feels weaker here, as though the light has been sucked out of it. And simultaneously, as you do that, the amount of light that this radiant spell cast into this place, which is almost pure darkness, just shadow everywhere, you feel like a bomb has gone off. It is so bright in here all of a sudden. And you see in the sky as a number of shadow dragons turn towards your direction and begin to fly towards all of you.
That's not good.
Day roll successfully continues to craft the circle. Damon, are you still helping him? This will count as your first turn of helping him.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Isolde, it is your turn.
She's gonna try to use her preserve life ability on herself and Taryn. We have 75 health to split between the two of us.
Alright, wait.
Yeah.
26 gets me to 54, which is half. Oh wait, no, we still have the Great Feast thing on
You
us,
do.
right? So that puts me at 124, which is 62. Sorry, I'm doing math. 33 gets me to 62, which is half health.
Okay, you can take 33. And I think that's all I can do.
Did you heal yourself the extra part?
Yeah, I'm trying to do it now. My computer's just being slow.
Okay. Make sure that happens before the Shadow Dragon gets to go again. He lets out a massive roar as he alerts you your presence to the rest of the group. And daylights. Is that spell you did, Gert, is that count as sunlight?
I guess it's called Sunbeam. A beam of light, brilliant, flashes out. Con saving throw.
Does it say anything about it being sunlight?
I don't think it does.
No, there's just a 30-foot radius of. The light is sunlight. So yeah, actually, at the very end.
Oh.
The light around me is
Oh yeah.
bright and dim.
Okay.
So, and it's considered sunlight.
Okay. As this creature rushes to attack Terran, he has disadvantage on his attacks. Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna use my reaction to put up my shield.
Your ice shield?
Yeah.
Okay. And he's going to
So,
bite at you.
can I have my health back?
Yeah, I'll give you your health back. That's 13 damage. I'm just gonna do this damage. Oh, I should not do it to you. So. Anyways, 24. So he has done a total of.
That'll destroy the shield between the 13 and the 24.
Okay, but so you put up the shield and he just bites the shield and crushes it with his draconic bite. 3 attacks, 1 bite, 2 with his claws. Okay, so then he's gonna attack you one more time with the claws. And misses. Alright, Terran, what do you do?
I'm going to just want this to be over, so I'm going to Cone of Cold him, and I'm going to use give him disadvantage on his throw and activate Bahamut's Mark.
Okay.
So it should do 64 damage, and he has disadvantage.
Nice. Okay, let me roll the con save again.
It has to be 20, so yeah, he gets it.
Yeah.
So he should take 32 damage, not 24 damage.
Yep, you fuck him up.
Then I'm going to use my bonus action to roll for my breath weapon.
Oh yeah, he was gonna roll for his breath weapon too. He does not get his back. You get yours back. Nice. Bosner, it is your turn.
Okay, cool. Vosner will crank out a healing word to Izzy. Here. Going to cast it at 5th level.
And as you're doing that, Veyrol turns to you, Vosner, and says, "It's almost complete."
Okay. I say I'll try and hold him off, and then I'll give him a second round of the blast to the dragon.
Okay.
So there should be like 60 feet of light around me, as read by the spell, if that makes any sort of difference.
Oh, you're glowing 60 feet bright light right now?
30 bright and 30 dim.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, you look like a giant beacon.
Yep. And I just don't want to do that, but I will do this. Yep.
Yeah. You hit him. Another huge slam of radiant energy. The light just reverberates. It fills the whole sky. You can feel as though you're standing on top of this pyramid, and it's just a giant flashing light all around you. You hear as things scurry towards you at rapid speed.
Okay.
And Veyrol puts in one last bit, and it will take Damon committing his turn to the teleportation circle for it to work. Damon, it is your turn.
And I will continue to help Veryl, and like say to him, "I hope you can make this work. My magic is gone." And
He turns
that's my
to
turn.
you and says, "Use your mark." And as you both complete that part of the spell, all of you are teleported here. You find yourself in a room surrounded with ancient Netherese machinery. Out of the teleportation you walk, and you find some familiar faces. Marin, looking sort of a middle-aged Marin. This is not as young as the young Marin you saw, but not as old as the old Marin you knew. I guess we could call him Middle Marin. And you see Humphrey, the figure who helped you fight outside the gates when Mossstone was under siege, though he looks much older, much more scarred. Tim, do you want to describe him for us?
Sorry, I dropped my phone.
In excitement.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys only got a sort of cursory look at him last time, but again, there's a sort of humanoid elephantine character who stands extremely tall. But if you recall from before, he was wearing sort of fine robes that were all gilt and eagles that in gold thread down the front. He still has those on, but they've clearly seen better days. Like a good look shows that there have been lots of patchings done all over the coat, and he himself is just covered in some old faded scars, some seemingly fairly new scars, and even like his trunk is all covered in scars. He has a sort of deadpan look to his eyes.
And underneath him, or to this direction, is Lyra, who looks much older, much more tired, and but looks at you with a smile on her face. And Marin sort of steps forward and says, "Welcome to Yithrin."
What is going on?
And he stops for a moment to find the fucking music. Because I can't find it. God damn it. Yeah, that's fine. He looks at all of you and says, "You're safe now. There is, no one who can find us here. We are protected in all directions. You can, set yourself at ease. You are some time in the future from your last moment. But I imagine you've deduced some of that already."
What in the world just happened? What did we just witness? What seems to be seconds ago.
The end of things, Fosner. We call it the merger. A time when the Shadowfell and the material plane joined as one plane, under the dominion of those who control the Shadow Plane.
It sounds all too familiar. So what do we do next?
That is up for you to decide. I am merely supposed to get you here. And, my time will soon come for me to return back to the guild, to create it, to start this loop once again.
So you knew that this would happen?
I was told by, an older version of myself a long time ago that this was inevitable, that this could not be changed, and that I had an instrumental role in, well, seeing that one part of it, one dying hope, was kept alive.
So what happened to all of the people in Mustone?
Not just Mostone. The whole world was consumed that day 30 years ago. Those who remain live in exile or hiding. Those who could not defend themselves were quickly taken. And with that, Beryl steps forward and opens the bag and hands Marin the contents. In the bag is a book that all of you would recognize. This is the ledger that all of you signed your names into the day you joined the guild. And he hands it to Marin. And Marin says, "Thank you. This will be important for my mission when I go back."
So, 30 years ago, this happens. And are you planning on traveling back in time to start the guild, or are you starting in this line of time to start the guild?
All I can do is fulfill what I already have fulfilled. Everything that I did for you before you got here, I must now go and do myself. Such is the loop.
Is it possible for us to undo the damage done, or is it just figuring out a way to save the survivors?
Marin looks at you honestly and says, "No, time can never be undone. The line is fixed."
Taryn will check to make sure the egg is okay inside his pouch.
Yeah, as you pull the egg out, you see it sort of glowing gently in the space, emitting sort of a nice, sort of like when you're underwater and the light sort of refracts strangely and giving this interesting glow. The crystal egg gives off that sort of luminescence. It sort of fills the room with a nice, gentle light.
Is this still the answer?
Without that egg, we stand no chance in fixing what was undone.
How do we separate the Shadowfell from this plane?
I do not know the answer. You must figure that out yourselves. You will have the help of Lyra and Humphrey, and there are some other allies that you can seek out additional aid here in Yithrin. We are not alone in this city.
But obviously not safe.
We are safe from the Shadowfell here, from those of the, those who wield the power of that ancient Netherese empire, call themselves the Shadowfar. They have not discovered this place, and we have kept it that way on purpose. This is one of the few bastions of security and safety left in
Well, okay then.
Do you know of any others who are here that we would know? Do you know what happened to the other squad members or Johoff?
I have not received word from Johoff, but that does not mean he is dead. It is very difficult to scry in this plane. It's very difficult to use any divination magic. The darkness of the Shadowfell occludes all. But there is a chance that anyone is still alive, however slim.
Would Vosner know generally if where they are currently? If his home forest is sort of in between there and Mossstone?
It's sort of off the way. This is Ythryn is straight north of Mossstone by thousands of miles, and your home forest is like northeast.
Gotcha.
So it would be southeast, or yeah, southeast from here. Sort of like a triangle.
Gotcha. Alright. Well, I guess it depends on what we hope to find or hope to do. But I feel that I'm ready to figure out how to get rid of the Shadowfell from this plane of existence. I feel like I've spent years trying to prevent this, only to fail miserably.
Rest assured, Vosner, the failure was always inevitable. This was the divine plan all along. The gods gave you their marks so that you could thrive in a world devoid of all magic. You were meant to fix this. I believe that. All of the guild was built for this moment. And he holds up the book.
I hope that's true. What do you all think? I just kind of look around the room.
I don't know yet. This feels like a hopeless place.
I agree with you there. Do I feel any life around us here, or no? Other than the people in the room?
You feel trace amounts of life sort of in the general area. You're not sure how many of those people are just sort of whoever's left, sort of part of the guild here. It's pretty sparse. You've just continually felt like cut off from the forces of life here. You find yourself more often than not touching the divine symbol of Saloon on your body, sort of as a way to feel at least some comfort in this place where you feel completely disconnected and severed from the forces that normally sort of give you life and energy.
So where do we begin then?
Well,
Oh,
I must return. I must take this book and carry out what needs to happen in order to bring you here. But you will all stay with Lyra and Humphrey, and you will figure out your way forward. I trust it. I would recommend, however, that you consider going to the library of Candlekeep. If there is any tome old enough to figure out what exactly needs to be done to recreate the material plane, it would be there.
makes sense. Um, Never mind, I totally forgot what I was thinking of.
I'll go up to Lyra and Humphrey. And how is it that you two made it here? Perhaps on our way to Candlekeep you could fill us in on the years that we've missed?
She nods and says, I will tell you everything, and I will start at the beginning. And with that, we're going to go to a break, and then we're going to do a flashback of what happened at the guild when shit hit the fan.
Nice.
We're back, gotta pee. Okay. I hope you prepare Speak with Dad. Alright. How's everybody doing?
Super good.
Yay, Tim! Tim, you got a character again.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling. Good. Good feeling.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for sticking around so many sessions with half a character.
My pleasure.
Alright. Start loading this shit. Is everybody back, or do I need to wait?
I'm good.
Yep, I'm here.
I'm back as well.
Sweet.
I'm here.
Very cool. Okay, so Lyra begins to tell you what happened at the guild. And she tells it from her perspective of helping you guys kill Porter and then immediately going into the big chamber to help defend what was essentially the main point of invasion for the guild. And she tells you of a massive room with guild knights standing side by side as like a wall to protect, with with at least half of the guild squad's highest ranking guild masters. Enna, Evander, Tetherman, and Chandri, as well as Arvine, and Azor in his bronze dragon form. And this is what she describes. Oh, you don't own any tokens with vision on this screen. Alright, let's configure this so that it doesn't have... Maybe this will help? No, that didn't help. Token vision. There we go. Standing before a massive invasion force coming through a dark portal. Oh, is that light not working? Weird. I can't see it on this screen. Well, very well. Anyways, the cool lighting effect I made does not work, but that's fine. Whatever, forever. Let's see, maybe if I leave to the control map and come back. There we go. Okay, for some reason I had to leave the map and come back to get the lighting and stuff to work. Anyways, a massive battle at the heart of the guild. And this is one of these fights where you get to pick your adventurer. There is Tetherman, Chandri, Evander, Enna, and Arvine. I'll say preference goes to whoever wants to play as their master, their teacher, but if you don't want to, you don't have to.
I'd rather switch it up a little bit. Can I be Anna?
Yep. Let me give you access to her.
Can I be Arvine?
Yep. Okay. Who wants Tetherman, Evander, and Chandri? Tim, you're included in this too.
Oh shit.
Though you don't have to be if you don't want to be.
Oh no, for sure. I'll do Evander.
Cool. You've played him before.
Garrett, do you want Tetherman or does it matter to you?
No, who's the last one?
Tetherman and Chandri are the last two between you and Leif.
I'll be Chandri.
Right on. Then I will be Tetherman.
Okay. You all can see their character sheets and relevant stats and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, all of you sort of standing.
Where do I
Oh, sorry.
find the character sheet?
If you're looking, you can just double click the character and it'll bring it up.
Oh, word. I think I found it anyways.
Yeah,
Right
it's
now.
under actors, the guild masters.
Yeah. Thanks, dude.
Yep. So I made all of those characters in D&D Beyond and imported all of them. So if there's mistakes with them, feel free to, fix them or whatever. But they should work enough. For the record, part of this scene will be narrativized and part of it will be actually played out. So yeah, this is sort of the last stand at the bottom of the guild. And we're going to fucking combat. Look at all them rolls. That's great, it's just all dice. Alright. So, going first. Let's get something cool. Hell yeah. Drow Shadowblade. Just going to move here. And move. Just going to Shadow Step. And attack this guy. Oh god damn it. There it is. Shade's gonna move forward again. Soulmonger is going to cast. How far? Oh yeah, that'll do it. Okay, it's gonna hit 3 bolts, then leap for that target as many as 3 targets. So 4 people gonna get hit. huge bolt of chain lightning comes out. Shade. It's the Deva's turn. Fly up to here. Swing his mace. I'm gonna skip all the Guild Knight turns. Basically, anything that starts within range of the Guild Knights is just gonna take an attack. Just to save time. Chandri, it is your turn.
Okay. She's going to cast Beacon of Hope. And let's do 5th level. Okay. I'm going to choose Tetherman, Evander, Enna, Elira, and Arvine, and Azor.
You have advantage against wisdom saving throws.
Wisdom saving throws, death saving throws, and get max healing.
Cool. Mark it on each of you. Know what thing to mark it as. Need to get
I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, this is fine. Just acknowledge that you have full healing.
Yeah. And I guess I don't have any cantrips on this character, but cool.
Well, that's an action anyways.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and if you want to like grab a cantrip, Sacred Flame or something from the spellbook, feel free to do that. Throw it on your character.
Cool.
Tetherman, you're up.
Alright. Oh, sorry. You said Tetherman. I'm Evander, right?
Yep. Tetherman is... Damn.
I'll just keep my mouth shut then.
You shut the fuck up, Tim. No, I'm just kidding. You're good.
I think, I'm trying to take everything that Tetherman can do, and it seems like druids can do a lot of things.
Yeah, they're pretty overwhelming.
I don't know.
They're the best. It's alright.
I guess, I am going to maybe step forward and use this staff to conjure a wall of thorns. I think you can do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm gonna do that, and
Let's see. 60 feet long, 10 feet wide, 5 feet thick.
I am going to lay it across this half and funnel all their dudes one direction.
Okay.
And that's my turn, I think.
Cool. The shade is gonna go. Oh, actually, he doesn't need to do that. He can do the 30, and then Shadow Step, and attack. And miss. Arvine is up.
Alright, I'm gonna move forward 30, and then I'm going to cast Sickening Radiance whenever I find it.
Good lord, that's a big area.
Right there. And everyone who failed, I think, gets a level of exhaustion.
Does it hit the turn of, or when they start their turn?
I just lost it.
Okay. Dim greenish light, 30-foot radius, wherever you choose.
Moves into the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there. So whatever it's on its turn.
Okay, so it's basically, we've just pre-rolled it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, like, I'm in the back, so hopefully I won't take damage and lose it before anybody's turn.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it'll be alright. This shade gets hurt, comes to here, shadow steps to here, and attacks the Deva. Missing. Evander, you're up.
Okay, I think I'm gonna just go big or go home and try casting Firestorm.
Yeah.
Hell yep.
Oh, I thought it would let me put down a template.
No, since it's such, like, a crazy template that you can change no matter what, we just, like, select people who are probably in the area.
Yeah, I think you could hit almost everybody in here. So you can just target all of them if you want.
Okay. My computer is... My computer just froze right up.
You... Okay. Do you want me to do the targeting? And
Hang on, I think I got it.
holy fuck. Fucking Evander drops the hammer. And all of these guys just fucking blow up. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that.
Sure. This Gloom Weaver is going to... Let's see what this does. That seems too complicated. Damn. He's going to Misty Step out of the shit. He's going to... Alright. Rush towards the group, I guess. Yep, 30. Okay, knights are skipped. Shades go. Attack. And takes a level of exhaustion. Shadow Dancer. Is going is going to dash another chunk there. Right. Exhausted. I think Lyra is going to go. She's going to come over here. And cast Fireball. Ooh, all of them succeed. Guild Nightshade. Shadow Dancer. Shadowstead. One more swing. Yes. Shade is dead. Shade is dead. Just gonna clean up the board here. Alright,
Nice.
the shade can go here. Like, here. Enna is up, and Laurel still needs me to play as Enna. Okay, she's going to target this guy.
Yeah, it just keeps crashing.
Oh, I don't know why it's attacking two things, but it's fine. Okay. And Guild Knight Gloomweaver. Alright, Guild Knight, Shade. Is going to rush this way and then blink in between them. Shadow Strike. He's going to Shadow Blink between the thorns. Strike this guy dead. Azor is up. He's going to breathe some motherfucking lightning. He's gonna fly up, I guess, and do it. I don't know. It's not a really good spot. He'll do it from here. Zapping two of them dead. Oh shit, my game just kind of flickered. Alright, Guild Knight, Shade. Uh-oh. Gotta refresh. Okay. That's Azor's turn. shade. This one will get up to here. Shadow Dancer. Okay. Guild Knight. Guild Knight. Back to the top. He takes a hit. His great sword. Being here. Shade does too. Oh, but he gets to attack. The shade gets hit. Target this Deva. Finger of Death. Oh, didn't mean to hit that shade too. Shade go. Ah. Backwards. That's fine. Deva's up. Shade. Chandry's up.
Okay, cool. Do these things look undead or no?
You cannot tell.
Right. Very concentrating on that. I'm going to cast my spiritual weapon. At 4th level.
Okay.
For whatever reason, I'm doing damage.
Well, it's an attack.
Okay, I'm gonna put it right behind the Deva. There's a dude over there.
I don't really have a marker for it right now. I guess I'll pull out his oldest.
Yeah. And then, yeah.
So that would have killed that guy.
I think that's pretty much all I can do.
That's a bonus action. You can do an action now.
I can do an action now. Well, I guess I'll Sacred Flame
Yeah, nice.
dude over here. Alright, I guess that's it.
Okay. Tetherman is up.
So do I understand correctly that I can use Wild Shape to be a beast of CR6 or lower?
Correct.
Can I, like, start to, like, walk up behind, the still exposed knights? And as I'm doing so, transform into a mammoth?
Yep.
I think that's what I'd like to spend my turn doing.
Okay, you can do that as a bonus action, and then you can attack with that. If you want.
Oh, sweet.
Damon is the owner of a mammoth. Congrats. Proud new owner of a mammoth. Sorry it doesn't have a cool skin, though.
Mammoth. That's cool. I can see it in my mind's eye. Can I kind of like step up behind, like so I'm overlapping with the first row of knights, but not be squashing this guy?
Yeah, I'll allow you to like gingerly move through their squares.
I don't
We'll
know.
just say since they don't have turns per se, that they just move out of the way for you if you want.
Yeah, cool. Because I just want to walk up and try and gore one of these guys. Is there a way for me to move the mammoth?
Yeah, you should have control of it. I made you an owner.
Okay.
But I moved it for you.
Okay.
Yeah, gore one of these shades as a mammoth.
Cool. That makes me happy.
Okay. I'm glad you're happy.
Yeah.
RV, let's see.
It's gonna be my turn.
Shade attacks you. The mammoth that misses. Arvine is up.
Alright. So I'm just going to try to strengthen this side rank, so I'm going to Eldritch Blast the Shadow Blade guy. Do I have 3?
Yes.
So that's my turn. Only one happened?
Yeah, keep casting them.
Okay, I thought I cast 3, but I might have clicked too fast.
It only went 1.
Alright. There we go.
Okay. Alright. Evander is up.
Alright. Evander's gonna select some folks.
Another firestorm.
I wish. Chain lightning, actually.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Well, that's that.
Okay. Yeah, you obliterate 2 of them. Jesus. Yep. Wait, why are those guys at 51? Seems wrong. Did something wrong go with their health bars there? They took 56.
I'm not sure.
Should be oh no, that's... Oh yeah, one of them succeeded. Okay, yeah, no, that sounds right. Okay, is that your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Gloomweaver is going to... Can he do? Oh, he's gonna rush up here and use his fucking shadow spear. Hell yeah. Oh, what the fuck? It didn't add the extra damage. Oh, so we with 2 hands? Versatile? There we go. Well, I don't know what that was, but Should be 12.
40, 12.
40, 12. So let's undo that and let's hit him again and see if this works. There we go. Shit rolls, but at least it worked. That is his turn. Shadow Dancer is going to attack up here. The spiked chain. Oh. Swing a second time. He
Shit.
swings this epic shadowy spiked chain and it slashes a guild knight, ripping off his helmet and decapitating him instantly. Lyra is up. She is going to cast Fireball at 6th level. Oh, I clicked on. I literally clicked off to a different level. Okay, she's not going to cast it on the guild hall. Yeah, that is broken, because all those guys were at 0 health, so they should have died. But I fixed it. Okay. That's Lyra's turn, Shadow Dancer's turn. He's dead. Soulmonger's turn. Going this way. Target. This. Mammoth and some guild knights with chain lightning. Draft Shadow Blade is going to
Shouldn't he get attacked by 2 guys first?
yes. Then he is going to attack. Ow. There it is. Okay, Guild Knight. Skip Guild. It is Enna's turn. Enna's gonna shoot some shit. God damn it. That shit killed it. So when I reloaded this scene, it set a bunch of people's health bars back to 100%, and so there's some bugs when I do damage to them occasionally. So I have to figure that out on the fly. But that's, she shot 1 shot. She'll shoot the rest of them at this guy. Or I guess just the other one. Okay. Shadow Blade.
He's got 2 guys attacking him.
Yeah. Let's see if he gets it. Oops. Got 2 attacks. Azor is going to fly over to here, bash this, fight this Soulmonger. Shades. Let's attack. Attacks back. Oh god, I used the great sword attack. Oh, that's fine. It's about the same. Shadow Dancer is dead. Back to the top of the order. Shadow Blade gets attacked by 2 guys. Or just 1, I guess. Before he attacks with his Shadow Sword. Twice. There it is. Shade gets attacked once. And he is going to attack the mammoth. And you suffer a point of exhaustion. Soulmonger. Is going to cast does he have Phantasmal Dagger? Hurls a dagger. Let's see. Gets 2 attacks. Throwing daggers at Azor. He doesn't give a fuck. Shade. Tit. Shade's gonna kill that guy. Or
Is he?
yeah, if I could use the right skill. No, he's not actually. Dave, hanging in there. Obliterates that shade. Chandry's up. Tetherman's on deck.
Dope. So Chandri is going to choose to heal the Deva. So I'm going to cast versus something. Oh wait, hold on.
As let's see, where are we at? Round 3.
There we go.
Okay.
Sure.
Roll me a d6, Kurt.
Okay. Okay.
As you attempt to cast that spell, your magic completely evaporates from your hands.
Well, that's not good.
Well, that's not nice. So, Chandra is just gonna look bewildered and say, "Oh shit." In the very Chandra way.
Okay. Tetherman, you're up. Roll me a d6. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if you're not casting a spell.
I don't think I am going to cast a spell. I'm going to use half of my 40 feet of movement to back up 20.
Ooh,
so that I can.
Attacks.
Ooh. That's true. Well then. I guess, it would be 2 of them, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't afford that if they're all gonna make me exhausted. Then I'm just gonna commit and, gore this guy again.
Sick. Give him the horn.
That's what I'll do.
That should be... Those attacks should count as magical. Just haven't changed them, so that should be that. Arvine, it's your turn.
I am gonna cast, so I should roll a d6.
Yep. You go to cast, and you feel the weave completely breaking down in your hands.
I'm pretty sure I have nothing that's not magic, so I'm going to kind of panic, but not really. I don't know if Arvine is the type to panic.
Sure. Evander?
Evander is going to try to cast a fireball.
Okay, roll me a d6.
You got this.
You are able to successfully cast a fireball.
Say I am?
Yep.
Wow.
It's all the fireball trivia, you know, that helps you power through.
It's all what you know.
Yeah. You obliterate a bunch of monsters. You do hurt Azor, but that's fine.
He can handle it.
Okay, is that your turn?
Yep.
Gloomweaver is going to... Shadow Spear at this mammoth. Wait, what the fuck just happened?
The
Oh.
Shadow Spear missed and the spiritual weapon attack.
Jesus Christ. There we go. Lyra is going to roll these. Oh yeah, actually she doesn't have to. Lyra goes to cast Whisper. She's going to cast Magic Missile at 5th level with this Gloomweaver. And as she's casting that, you all feel deep inside of you a sense of dread you've never experienced before, as something very large comes through the portal. Around it, an aura of darkness.
Oh, shit.
Oops, I removed it from the door. As a great worm shadow dragon comes through the portal and begins its turn. Fly speed 120. So that's plenty of distance. And Shadow Breath. Out of the mouth of this great worm comes a breath of pure shadow that sweeps over and sucks the souls out of all of the people in the wake. Chandri barely shielding herself from the blow to prevent herself from immediately dying. And all of these guild knights come back as shades.
Does the drow come back as shade too?
The drow didn't die, it got real close.
Oh, no way. Look at him.
Yeah, good for him. Okay. And that is his turn. He's going to roll a breath weapon recharge. He does not get it back. Drow Shadowblade. Shade goes after Chandri. Oh fuck, I just targeted 80 things. Well, it doesn't matter. But it does apply. Did it miss her? It missed Chandri, that's hilarious. Okay, I gotta untarget all this shit.
So, what's our goal here? Just hold out as long as possible, or hold out until something happens and then bail?
Yeah, I'll say as, you were instructed by Marin to come hold this as long as possible, and that he would eventually arrive. And,
Okay.
he has not arrived yet. The shade is gone. This shade is now going. Anna is up. I guess I'm playing as Anna. Shade. Gets attacked by that. God, I did it again. This is hard to run. Fucking Christ. Whatever. Azor is going to charge at this massive shadow thing and fucking fight it.
Oh yeah, he's got this.
He's hitting it with everything he's got. The shade is dead.
Where's Brett in all of this?
Oh my god, I forgot about Brett. Oh no, he was on the outside.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, he wasn't here.
Probably for the better, because we would have all fought over who gets to play him.
Wow, Chandri is tough to kill. Guild Knights is not going. Back to Drow. Oh, this is not real Tetherman anyways. Soulmonger is still somehow alive. He's going to throw phantasmal daggers at you. Sword. David is dead. Chandri, you're up.
Chandri is now being played by me.
Ooh, roll a d6.
No?
Oh, I respect it.
Cool. Thought I'd give that a try.
It works. You can cast a spell.
Sweet. She's gonna cast Heal on herself.
Hmm.
Yeah, big points.
That's pretty good.
And I guess stay right there, because 3 AOO does not sound good.
Perfect. Tetherman's up. You're getting stabbed in all your sides as a mana.
I just encountered something online that says I can cast spells while a beast once you're an 18th level druid. Is that true?
Yes.
Huh.
Tetherman 18th level?
How about
Yes.
that?
Roll a d6. Tetherman was the second most powerful druid. He cannot cast a spell.
Oh, yeah. Well, then he's going to, make whatever loud snuffling or trumpeting sound mammoths make. And, just keep stabbing at the things in front of him.
Okay.
Has Chandri been using the spiritual weapon?
Sure hasn't.
Oh, that's true.
We can give it a bop.
Yeah, can I retcon a little bop on that shade right there?
It looks like it missed.
Cool. Same as it ever was.
Some things stay true. Arvine is up, I think.
Alright, here's my magic roll.
Good to go.
Alright, I'm going to cast Wall of Light.
I like it.
Going to... Oh, I was concentrating on the Sickening Radiance and the bad guy went through it.
Oh.
So.
What's the save?
I'd have to look at it after. I'll do it after I cast this. I don't know why I did that.
Badly.
So I'm putting the Wall of Light like through the big guy, like between him and Izor, but like kind of bisecting him so he starts inside of him. If that makes sense.
Like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. So like forcing him away.
Okay. Wall of light. You create blah 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 the wall of any orientation. 10 feet high. Wall blocks line of
So-
sight.
I'll roll.
Yeah, what's the... Yeah, let me know what the sickening radiant save is.
So that's the damage he'll get, that or half. I don't know what my save DC is.
And that's a what save for this? Oh, until the spell ends, you can use an action to launch a beam of radiance. So, I don't think you can do that yet. I think you do that next turn.
So when the wall appears, each creature in its area must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 48 and is blinded.
Okay, he got a 36 on his con
So
save.
he takes 11. And for the sickening radiance, it is 40, 10, or half. I'm assuming he'll succeed that con save, but
32.
yeah. So he'll take 13 radiant damage from that.
Okay.
And it's definitely affected his health bar.
You've dented it. Evander, roll me a d6. You cannot cast magic this turn.
Okay, well, Evander puts up his hand to cast Fireball, and when it fizzles, he just stares at his fingers perplexed.
Sweet. Gloomweaver. To Shadow Spear this night. There it is. And then Shadow Spear this fucking mammoth. Oh, he misses.
There it is.
Lyra does not have to roll. It's going to cast Fireball. God damn it. On all these shades. Septis is going to target Azor.
No.
Multi-attack. 1 bite, 2 claw. And then he is going to... Yeah, that should be good. Drow, Shadowblade will go. Coming after the mammoth. You take an additional 28 damage. And lose concentration on your Wall of Thorns. Shades will all take turns slicing that shade. And missing. Nice one. Did she succeed the save? Yep. Anna's up. She's gonna shoot some shit. Alright, Shade. It's gonna kill off this guy. Move towards Tetherman. Weaver. Just going to hit Tetherman. Upshot. Oh fuck. Don't you guys wish your characters were here fighting this? Maybe. Tetherman continues to succeed Constitution saving throws. This guy's dead. This guy's alive. Zor gets his breath back. Gives him a giant zap to the face. Yeah.
This guy has so much health.
Alright. 2 misses. Chandri's literally fighting 4 of them by herself. Just deflecting shield blows and shit. Oh, but she takes a level of exhaustion. And the turn comes back around. At the top of the turn order, Marin returns. Though he looks terrible. He's been, like, beaten to shit. And as he steps into the room, sort of, like, leaning heavily on his staff, Tetherman looks back, and Marin says, "It is finished." And the rest of you don't know what that means, but Tetherman knows that basically you have succeeded in what you were supposed to do here. Sort of narrative question, or sort of meta question. Would you like to continue to play this out as these characters? Or would you like me to narrativize sort of an ending here, or what do you want? Because this is a pretty demanding thing to, like, play out every turn, but if you guys are interested, we can keep doing it.
I actually have to head out, but don't let that, if anyone else wants to keep going through the turns, don't let that be the deciding factor. But if you do keep going through the turns, I'll need you to take over as Evander.
Can do that.
Okay with narrativizing it.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah, I guess Laurel and Damon or Leif.
Yeah, I'm okay with narrativizing it.
Yeah. What happens in the next few rounds is, as you feel, there's a general feeling as though something is completely absent in the weave. Essentially, you can all feel the moment that Bear Squad leaves with that crystal egg. The second they leave this time, all the magic begins to fail immediately, and all of your spells begin to fizzle, all of your abilities begin to crumble, and Evander, Arvine, and Chandri have lost connection to their power, essentially, as has Tetherman. And slowly, as they're trying to sort of defend themselves, the Shadow Warriors basically overcome and slay every single guildmaster, including Marin, who, in sort of a last defiance stand, hurls Lyra through space and time to another room, where she uses her own ability to teleport to get far away from here. And Lyra continues to tell the story from her perspective, where she lives the next 30 years just trying to survive and trying to make her way to Yithrin, where she knows young Marin is working on Mythalar.
Did she see what happened to Izor?
She watched as Azor fought against Septis and eventually was completely overcome, ripped to shreds, and killed.
Okay. Taryn doesn't take that news well.
And you find yourselves here. Here you are now, in the future, 30 years past the last thing you did or know or remember. In a world completely torn apart, a merged world between the Shadowfell and the material plane. Your next arc will be to figure out what you can do to save it, if you can save it. And that's the last session of Arc 3.
So good.
That was amazing.
Thanks. I've thought about this moment for literally 2 years.
That's wild.
Worth the journey.
So now, the first question, which was asked, I think, maybe by Gert in session 1, which was, how does Marin know who to ask to invite to the guild, has been answered. Y'all gave him the book with all the names in it.
That is actually insane and very, very cool.
So, this arc 4 is going to be much more sandboxy. I mean, admittedly, a lot of this end stuff was pretty railroaded. There's not really any way to beat Septis. I mean, there is, but you guys were, the deck was stacked against you there. But how you guys want to carry out saving everything, which direction you want to pursue, that's all going to be sort of up to you. I'm going to sort of stop railroading and let you guys plan out some shit, which means I think this would be a very good time for a fireside chat. A few things that I think maybe your characters might be thinking about is that, based off what Marin said, it appears that the plan all along that the gods giving you these powers involved was knowing that they were going to do it and the world was still going to basically come to an end, killing tens of millions of people. And all of you feel disconnected from your gods. All of you feel disconnected from the weave. the only source of your power now comes from the mark that was sort of divinely bestowed upon you. And so you'll have to figure out what you do with that burden, that responsibility, etc. And where to go, what to do. So, I think we should meet again in like first or second week of January or something. I'm gonna take a break because that was a lot of a lot of work for the last bit, and hopefully y'all will have sort of figured out what you think your character might want to do. You can always talk to me. I'll have you respond, answer questions if you need to like figure out exactly what's going on. But I'll be interested to think of what you guys want to do.
Is there going to be like downtime between this, or is it going to be like immediate? Like,
oh, a
in the story?
downtime. Yeah, I mean, you guys basically got sent to the future, but you know now how you solve the problem. There's no clock ticking as far as you know.
Got it.
The general idea is that you were sent forward in time because this is 30 years after the main invasion's taken place. They were successful in destroying basically everything, but now it's been enough time that they've sort of stopped looking for you.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Okay, well, that's all I've got for this session.
It was a pleasure dying with you all.
Yeah.
Same.
Agreed.
Were we planning on doing like one-shots?
If any of you want to run them, I'm happy to play them, but I'm gonna try to not do any D&D prep for a month.
Okay. Like, I think I would like to run one.
Okay. Well,
I'm down to play.
I'd like to run one.
Okay.
If I can get my computer to work with Foundry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if I can help in any way, let me know.
Okay, yeah. I'll click around Foundry to see if I can figure things out. But if not, I will talk to you.
Sure. And there's lots of really good guides and simple. You don't have to use all this shit that I use to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do a very low-level campaign, then you really don't need that much shit.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I am tired. I'm going to go take a nap or something.
Right on. Thanks,
Bye,
Tom.
everybody.
All right. See you all.